chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear some people gone, so tell all your friends to tune in to the
Good evening,
show.
Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Myself here. There we go. How are ya? Saying hi to my friends and family near and far. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. It's good to be back with you on this Tuesday evening. Hopefully, we'll have another thought-provoking, informative, and lively discussion as we unpack the Visitor Experience Development Grant Program. A lot of you have been asking me to break that down because you've gone onto the site and you had some questions. And, I'm going to break it down as best as I can based on what information I found out about this program and what it is, who qualifies, and how Caymanians can access real funding to build new tourism experiences. Now, if you've ever dreamed of starting a tourism business, this could be the conversation for you this evening. If you're already in business, that sort of stuff, and you want to got something new, maybe a new idea up your sleeve, I'd suggest you stick around. And then I aim to continue where we left off from yesterday, and that's covering the Caymanian Protection piece of legislation of 2026, because that's changing. And what does it mean for Caymanians and what it means for businesses as well, and why everyone continues to still be talking about it. I think it's more from a business now perspective for individuals and families are trying to make their decisions whether or not it's worth, in their case, the funding, looking at the cost of living as well. A lot of families are actually having the decision whether or not it's something that they even want to consider doing right now. And then you have businesses as well who are bracing for impact meaning staff are just leaving ahead of the 1st of May. Because of the new requirements and protocols that are going to be taking place. So it's mixed right now out there, to be honest with you. I have been out, about, around. I'm hearing the discussions. Persons are actually questioning, asking questions, asking for explanation. And I'm doing my best to answer them based on what information, as we have both uncovered here, what literature I've read, and so forth. So at the end of the day, I'm doing my best to deliver here in layman's terms as best as I can. And I'm hoping that you will find the information useful and that it can assist you in making your final decision. But that's what we're all about here on this platform, and so many other thought-provoking conversations as well that may actually come to fruition. But yes, I am. This episode of Sabrina Speak is proudly supported today by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting. Cayman Help is on the way, and a new consultancy firm is opening this May with 25 years of real hands-on immigration expertise. Now, Bridgepoint, your advocate in complex systems. So more to come on that. Yes, it's opening in May of 2026. They'll be your guide. So we'll keep you up to date with what's happening there. But please remember the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and or participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for your specific concerns. Bridge Media Limited and all its affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented here. And, to join in live on the conversation, you can call me by dialing 345-936-8255 or hit me up at WhatsApp. I enjoy hearing from you. That's the very same number as well. So it's 345-936-8255. You can send me a WhatsApp. I see you coming in there. It's good to have you engaging in the conversation as we continue to grow, learn, and just make sense out of all that's happening here in our island. Before going into the substantive conversations this afternoon, let's hear what the weather has in store for us for this evening and into tomorrow. Compliments of our friends there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Now, the synopsis calls for generally fair conditions accompanied by light winds are expected to persist as a weak pressure gradient remains over most of the Caribbean. The chance of showers remains low as dry air remains in place over our area. Radar imagery shows no shower activity at this time. The forecast for tonight calls for mostly fair skies with a low chance of showers. Temperatures will fall near the mid to upper 70s and winds will be east to northeast 5 to 10 knots. Now, seas will be smooth with wave height less than 2 feet. Tomorrow's forecast is calling for mostly fair skies with a low chance of showers. Temperatures will rise near the mid to upper 80s with a heat index of 96. Winds will be east to northeast 5 to 10 knots and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. There will be a high tide this evening at 8:30. A low tide at 2:33 tomorrow morning and another high at 7:55. Sun will set this evening at 6:46. Sun will rise at 5:59 and tomorrow, yes, it will set again at 6:46. The outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning. So that's your weather forecast here for this evening and into tomorrow as you make your plans, but it's going to be hot. Oh, yes, you're going to be hot, hot, hot. So be prepared, hydrate. And that's how we do it here. Now let's take a look at what's making our news here, starting with local news this evening. The Trade and Business Licensing Board is rolling out a major change for Caymanian entrepreneurs, introducing multi-year licenses in the islands. History, yes. History beginning today, eligible Caymanian-owned businesses can apply for licenses valid for up to 5 years. The Department of Commerce and Investment will administer the new system, which is limited to low-risk, locally owned businesses with strong compliance record and no outstanding fines. Now, officials says the reform modernizes Cayman licensing framework and supports long-term planning for local businesses. A 26-year-old man has been sentenced to 22 months in prison after stealing more than $5,000 worth of jewelry from Caribbean jewelers last January. Eddington Michael Bush pled guilty to taking several gold items which have not been recovered. The court heard that Bush struggled with addiction and mental health issues, but a pre-sentence report assessed him as a high risk of reoffending. Justice Richards ruled that punishment was necessary and rejected a probation order, urging Bush to use his time in custody to pursue rehabilitation. Other local news. Cayman Islands Police Commissioner says plans are underway to open small satellite stations across the islands and eventually assigned a dedicated constable to every parliamentary constituency. Now, the move is part of a wider push to strengthen community policing and improve visibility in neighborhoods. The RCIPS says that the strategy aims to build stronger relationships with residents and provide faster, more localized responses to community concerns. And in other local news this evening, the National Roads Authority is advising motorists of ongoing constructions at the CUC roundabout by Kingsport Center. Crews are carrying out curb works on the main roundabout this week, along with paving on the Silver Oaks leg. Drivers, however, are urged to slow down in the work zone, follow posted signs, and give way as signaled as usual to vehicles already in the roundabout. The NRA reminds the public this remains an active construction site with a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit. An official thanks motorists for their patience as works continue. Other local news: the Department of Agriculture is advising customers that its delivery services will not operate on April 28th and 30th due to scheduled maintenance on department's delivery trucks. Now, officials says that they understand the importance of these deliveries and apologize for any disruption. The department is also working to return the vehicle to service as soon as possible and will provide updates once deliveries resume. Customers are thanked for their patience and understanding during this time. We will take a look at what news is making our regional and international headlines, but after this short message.
The Economics and Statistics Office, ESO, is currently conducting the annual business surveys until June 12. The surveys collect information to answer questions like, how did the economy perform in 2025? In 2025, how much did foreign companies invest in the Cayman Islands? The surveys include all relevant entities that produce goods and services in the Cayman Islands. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the ESO. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business. For assistance in filling out the forms or for more information, visit eso.ky or call 244-4676 or 244-4600.
Welcome back to Sabrina Speaks. For those of you just joining us, it's good to have you with me this evening. Let's continue with our regional and international news making headlines this evening. Yes, we turn our attention over to Grace Kennedy this afternoon. Yes, you're going to be paying a little bit more for these products because Grace Kennedy has announced that the price of all of its non-alcoholic sweetened beverages will increase effectively Friday, May 1st. Now, the company says the adjustment applies across its full beverage line, though no specific price change were released. Grace Kennedy notes that the increase is necessary to manage rising production and operational costs. The company says it remains committed to maintaining product quality for consumers. And over in Bermuda, yes, Bermuda, King Edward VII Memorial Hospital is moving to relieve pressure on its emergency department following renewed concerns about overcrowding. The Bermuda Hospital's board says it takes steps to ease demand while advancing a full review of emergency services. Now, the update follows public calls for a veteran emergency doctor urging action to address chronic congestion. Officials says the review aims to improve patient flow and strengthen overall emergency care. Taking our sights over now to the British Virgin Islands. Yes, because they have secured another international accolade, being named the best luxury destination in the Caribbean in Modern Luxury's 2026 Travel Awards. Now, the recognition announced on April 24th follows the BVI's 2025 title as Hottest Destination of the Year, reinforcing its standing as premier high-end travel destination. Now, Tourism Director Clive McCloy says the award reflects the consistency and quality of the BVI's luxury product, supported by standout properties such as Oil Nut Bay's Villa. The BVI continues to earn top rankings from leading global travel publications. And making our news right now internationally for this evening, right here on Sabrina Speaks. Yes, we take our turn, our focus over to King Charles III. Yes, he arrived in the United States on Monday, April the 27th, for a 4-day state visit, marking the 250th anniversary of American independence. Now, the King and Queen Camilla landed at Joint Base Andrews before traveling to the White House for private tea with the President and First Lady. Now, the visit comes amid heightened security and diplomatic tensions, with Buckingham Palace confirming the trip would proceed despite a week of shooting incident in Washington. And also, King Charles has also become only the second British monarch to address a joint session of the United States Congress. He did that earlier today. In his remarks, he praised America's leadership and expressed gratitude to the American people, calling the US-UK bond priceless and eternal. The address also marked the 250th anniversary again of Americans' independence, and the King highlighted the enduring values shared between both nations. And over in our internews entertainment segment today, all of you who are loving it, guess what? Daddy Yankee and Shenseea have teamed up for Echo, the newest single from the official FIFA World Cup 2026 album. Released through Salix Co., UAM, and Def Jam, the track is co-produced and executively produced by Trainee, blending reggaeton and dancehall for the tournament growing global soundtrack. Now, FIFA says Echo is the album's third single following releases from Jelly Roll, Carrie Leon, Los Angeles Azules, and Belinda. The collaboration highlights the Caribbean's influence on international music as the World Cup builds a multicultural playlist for 2026. So this is something definitely we can all look for, and we feel good when we see one of our own from in the region definitely making center stage here as we keep it rolling. As we wind down, today's U.S. markets close lower, with the Dow slipped just 0.05%, and the S&P 500 down nearly 0.5%. The Nasdaq off closed 1%, and tech stock led the decline after reports of slowing growth at OpenAI pressured major chip makers. Now, oil prices surged more than 3% to just under $99.60 a barrel, adding fresh inflation concerns, while gold retreated sharply. Across the Caribbean, the Jamaica Stock Exchange closed broadly higher. The JSE index gained 0.7%, with more than 16.5 billion units traded, led by Jamaica's Trans-Jamaican Highway, JMMB preference shares, and Wigton Energy. In Trinidad and Tobago, the composite index held steady at 963, with modest gains for First Citizen and Scotiabank, while NCB Financial edged lower. Now, the Barbados Stock Exchange was closed for Heroes Day, and here in the Cayman Islands, they did not report any closing figures. Now, we see where figures are consistent with its reporting schedule, but regionally markets were steady as investors track rising oil and heavy week of U.S. earnings. Now, that concludes this evening news, and that's regional, international, and our business report here on Sabrina Speaks. It's good to have you all with us. Just let me get this image for us today. I want to send happy birthday greetings out to anyone who's celebrating a birthday, any and everybody who's celebrating a birthday today. Yes, we want to share that with you right here from all of us on the Sabrina Speaks platform. We know how we do it here. Our thoughts are with you on your special day. And if you're celebrating an anniversary as well, we share that with you here. Lots of love. Of course, we're doing it all here with you. And we want to share, sending all of it from us on this platform. Yep. And for those unfortunate who are mourning the loss of a loved one, our thoughts and prayers go out to you as well as you navigate this time of healing and reflection. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of you as well. Yes. And Connie sent the flower of the day. Thank you, Connie Bonnie. There you go. That is Orchid of the Day. Thank you, Connie. You are so consistent. There is an issue with your, okay, good. Got a little warning there. Sorry about that. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that with me, Connie, and sharing it with all of us here, and for your dedication and your consistency as well. Appreciate it lots. Yes. Just a gentle reminder for all of you, this Friday is 345 day. Yes, Friday the 1st. You're encouraged right now to show up in your national pride and wear your Cayman Proud shirt, or you can wear, dress in the colors, red, blue, or white on this day. This is our part of showing, and however you show up, make sure you use the hashtag and Caymanian Proud, so that the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage can also see exactly how you showed up on the day of celebration. So yeah, we want to be a part of this, and just show up in your colors. That's what we do. And you know what? Saturday the 2nd of May as well, Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture. This is this huge free gospel concert that is taking place at the agricultural grounds from 6:30 until 10. I like to get all of this out of the way, so once we start talking and your questions coming in and all that good stuff, we can just get down to real business. So yeah, I just want to do all of these gentle reminders for all of us, because it's that important. We're dedicating this. This is history in the making, an entire month. So yeah, you want to be a part of that. You definitely want to be a part of this. And like I said, kudos to all of those corporate sponsors who stepped up to the plate and are being a part of this history in the making. We want to thank you for that. And I'm quite sure that there's more opportunities that are there. So for all of you corporate persons who want to get on board, by all means, reach out to Miss Tanissa Barnes in the ministry, and she will definitely sort you out. That's for certain. So yeah. And then of course, it is the church service that takes place then the Sunday the 3rd at the John Gray Memorial Church. And that is from 11 o'clock. Again, celebrating the story of who we are as Caymanians. And we know how we roll it here when it comes to our belief in Christ and just including God in everything that we do. Yes. So, yeah, that would be good, Connie. I'm going to just put you all up on the screen now. So yeah, I just want to get all of this good stuff out of the way. Wanted to get rid of the housekeeping bit of things, to be honest. But yeah, that would be a great idea. That would be an excellent idea, Connie. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yes. So let's see who's here with us this evening. Yep. Connie was first to comment. It is good. You were late, but you're right on time. Don't you worry about that. It's always good to have you all with us. We know that you all join us at various times. Some of you even watch us days after we are off air and you're catching up on your episodes. We appreciate you. It doesn't matter, but we love the fact when you can join us live so that we can keep it all engaging, and we can just do it in real time. So it brings even more personalization to it, definitely. So it's good to have you here. Jimbo's in the house. Oh, you did. Thank you so much. And I didn't even see your message saying you'll go back. It's good. Yeah, the past couple of days was pretty heavy hitting with information on the immigration regulations. Oh my God, it was rough. Alfred Reel, and of course, leave it to him. He comes with these big, I would say, Harvard University thought-provoking questions. Yeah, he pretty much pushed this topic today, which I promised a commenter I would have done. And with the questions keep coming privately, Real Alfred, you called him out and he threw the questions. So we had to rein it in to make sure we could get a big chunk out of the immigration regulations out of the way, slow it down. But I promise you, I have, in preparing for this episode. I do have his questions from yesterday. Thank you for sending them through, and I'll do my best to answer them the best as I can. Damian Henry, good to have you in the house this evening. Good evening, all. A degree doesn't mean you're smart. Common sense does. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. You're right. Well, I'm a work in progress. I that every second of the day, Damien. So I can relate so much to that. I am a work in progress. Oh Lord. Yeah, if you look good, you'll see a lot of tape. But I'm not giving up. North Carolina love. There we go. I'm back. I don't know. I restarted the board. I did everything yesterday. Yeah, so she's acting a little wonky, to be honest with you. And it's not me. I just think there's a lot of things going on with the internet, with the phones. Yeah. Yep. So it's good to have you in the house, troublemaker Aliano. Double Aliano, because I was going to big him up when everything just went wonky. Thank you so much. Yes, Connie was saying in regards to Friday, the dress down day. Now, if you're going to do it, you have all day. Let's give a cutoff till about 3:30, so that we can do images. If you want to send me pictures of how you showed up, how you represented at work in your colors on Friday the 1st, give you until 3:30 to send those pictures to 345-936-8255. I'd be more than happy to have some fun with them on Friday. So yeah, it would be good for you to send them through so we can have some fun. I will be in mine, so I don't have to post my picture. I will definitely come out in my traditional outfit that I've used on Heritage Days when I used to host, and I attended a number of Georgetown Heritage Days. And yeah, I'd be happy to just, hey, it's fun. Why not? Yeah, wake up. It's good to have you here. Connie saying hi. Yep. Hey, Miss Dorothy, how you doing? It's good. And Tartarian is also here in the house. Now, let me just say thank you to all of you for your loyalty and for showing up here with me. It is so encouraging. And even though a lot of you do not comment, there's a big difference when you participate instead of just talking for myself. But I know that based on what we were doing and what we were covering, that it was that important. I think that got your attention, right? So I appreciate all of the feedback that I have been getting, even in the supermarkets. Don't care where I go. Oh my goodness. And you know what's touching the most? When the guys come up to me, for more reason than one. No, but what I'm saying is you don't normally get men engaging with you about topics, about episodes. And it's amazing what they remember and how they just pull me to the side and they will ask me for clarification on different things. Don't just be one track here now. Yeah. On a plethora of things. So those are the most kudos to my women as well. I know there was a lady who stopped me in a supermarket, and I'm still working on that. You know who I'm talking to. I'm still working on finalizing that, but you can understand where the priority was right now with getting a lot of this immigration stuff out of the way. But we're coming back to that topic that we were talking about. But it's just amazing, the feedback and ideas and suggestions that people have been giving me. But it's not too often the men come up to you and just, they're respectful, they're polite. And yeah. So don't think that I'm not approachable. I'm very approachable. My resting bitch face is not the oops. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a 9:30. Yeah. Please don't make that turn you off. Don't. But yeah, I am very much approachable, very much contrary to what a lot of you think. But yeah. It's only a few that gets into that circle who really sees the true side of me. But I'm just letting you know that I am very, very much approachable. Many times I'm just zoomed out thinking about the next topic or just trying to get in and out of a supermarket or just trying to get stuff done. And I'm not all the time I'm aware. But trust me, when you see me and you actually engage, you would be like, wow, that's different. She didn't appear that way. It's just, yeah, then you don't get me to stop. So be careful. My Milo friend is in the house. Iva, how you doing? Hello, hello, hello. It's good to have you here with us today. Aliano says, I don't know trouble. Just be giving Facebook hell with all the Trump. Oh, Lord, roaches on the. Oh, Jesus. Really? Trump roaches on the platform, all up in every comment I make. But let me tell you something. You just got to love them. You just got to love them. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is why I don't make them bother me, to be honest. Aliano, just speak your mind. But remember, your social media posts, your different platforms, and your cell phone could be asked for the next time you travel, not knowing your immigration status for the U.S. But yeah. And some people say they're shutting us down. They're monitoring us, what we say, what we can say, what we can't say, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, my love, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Good evening, Andrew. How are you? It's so good to have you here. Good evening. Andrew is saying, Cayman, blessed Tuesday. How are you? You've been missing, or you've just been taking in all of the stuff that we've been saying. It's been a rough couple of days, to be honest, with just delivering. I'd be honest with you, Andrew. It has been a rough couple of days. Yep. Aliano. Jim is saying very approachable, authentic, genuine, and kind. Yes. Plenty of those for you, Jimbo. Lots. Yes, Connie saying, huh? Yep. Yeah, it's amazing when you see some of the comments that are made on certain articles. Oh my God. If it can be, people can be really mean just because you're not agreeing with them. And this is why I'm very cautious. Religion, politics, and there are a few other subjects, but those two in particular, I'm very cautious with having those because it is very emotive and people can just get so personal. But the social media platforms and commenting, they literally come after you hard. They literally come at you personally. And that's what social media platforms are for. So just move on. Moving right along. If you take it to heart, oh God be with you. Then you might as well just come off of social media and don't comment because you're going to get somebody commenting. You know how much haters I got just doing all sorts of foolishness on the platform? Boop, boop, boop. Water on a duck's back for me. I know what we're delivering here and I thank you all for showing up. But yeah, it can be brutal, Connie. Yeah. Una business. I don't need to travel to the US to blacklist me. So okay, got to. Yeah, but still love the tips. Yeah, they're asking you, especially if you're renewing your visa. There was a thing came out a couple of weeks ago and I covered it here. Please remember to declare your Facebook, your social media handling, your pages and stuff when applying for US visas. And we're not exempted from that. So just be cautious, I would say. If you have no desire, no care, who gives a crap, like Aliano was saying here, then do whatever you want. But yeah, it is quite a different time that we're living in right now. Damian Henry says, some companies now checking your social media accounts before employing you. Yeah, you don't even have to apply. Some of them will actually see you commenting and that sort of stuff, and they'll just go and pull you up, period. And then they'll remember, isn't that a name that I saw commenting here or whatever? But if we have to live like that, guys, then you are falling prey to exactly what theorists are saying, that they're shutting you down. Yeah. You are actually allowing them to win. You got to stand for something. And I don't feel that you should be, once you are entitled to your opinion and you're able to comment on something in a respectful way, that you shouldn't be scared to weigh in on your opinion. If you're going to just capitulate and just become a clam and just stay in your corner and you're busting at the seams, then what kind of life is that? Yeah, I don't know. But we're all made up differently. And remember now, remember, you can stay at the back and put other people in the front line, but don't think people ain't watching. Don't think people aren't aware. Andrew says, the high prices killing everyone. Appears we can expect, oh yes, due between. Well, look here. Tomorrow I'm going to have a very interesting topic. I am going to be dropping a full 2-hour episode on exactly this separation. The UAE quits OPEC. I am doing an entire 2 episodes on that, not to fairmonger. I know a lot of you are seeing that, but you do not understand the impact that it has by extension on the world. Yes. And look at how it's all adding up. Who's in the United States right now? It was a part of my news broadcast. It was a part of the news broadcast. And where do we fit into all of that? You got to tune in tomorrow for that. Yes, I'm going to be breaking it down, exactly what it means, what it could signal, potential impact. So, Andrew, you're on to something. But the good thing is, Andrew, for all of you who have been with me, my diehards, you know we have been sounding the whistle on a lot of things here for a very long time. I would say from last year. Before all of the Hormuz and the straits have been blocked, we have been having certain discussions. But this should put it into perspective on a bigger scale tomorrow. So that is tomorrow's topic. I'm going to be breaking it down in bite-sized pieces for us to try and understand exactly the UAE, what that means with the UAE quitting OPEC and how it all aligns. So yeah, you want to tune in for that tomorrow, definitely. Connie says, when it comes to me, when it comes at me hard, I hit back. Oh, I've seen you. Oh, girl, I see you. Oh, yes. Dean's in the house. The rock never hit me, but don't make my Trump profile fool you. Oh, okay. Ay. Yes, that could mean a number of things, isn't it? Aliano said, the road is rough, but looking to do my own business and stop working for other people soon. Thanks for the help, that is my pleasure. And Aliana, trust me, for any small business, I've been there. You'd be surprised how much people I've assisted, just holding your hand. I'm always available and never doubt that. Trust me. Connie says, I don't intend on walking around with no big belly, full of people. Full of people business. I'm a chat it out loud too. OMG, Connie, you're a joker. Oh my God. See, Jimbo is telling you, hello, Connie. Yeah, let's get to it, guys. I want to exhale. Let's exhale. So you know what? Let me just do this so that we can exhale and we'll go straight into what this grant means. Okay, so please, let's bear with me. We got to pay some bills. Let's listen to the ESO just in case you missed it at the top of the hour.
The Economics and Statistics Office, ESO, is currently conducting the annual business surveys until June 12. The surveys collect information to answer questions like, how did the economy perform in 2025? In 2025, how much did foreign companies invest in the Cayman Islands? The surveys include all relevant entities that produce goods and services in the Cayman Islands. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the ESO. Remember, better data, better decisions, better business. For assistance in filling out the forms or for more information, visit eso.ky or call 244-4676 or 244-4600.
Welcome back, one and all, and for all of you who's just joining us, it's good to be back with you. I'm your girl, Sabrina. You never know which version is going to come out, but guess what? I'm going to be loyal to the core. Andrew is saying as we spin off after that commercial from the ESO, Caymanians need to unite stronger than ever before to get through the tough times ahead. Small businesses, everybody is going to experience financial difficulties if they are already not in it. Thank you. Sound advice and profound. You are so right. But for those of you just joining us tonight, I'm going to be diving into something that is huge. And it could actually, in some cases, could change the lives of Caymanian entrepreneurs and definitely shape the future of our tourism industry. And what I'm talking about, my friends, is that the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development has launched a visitor experience development grant program. And that grant design is designed to help Caymanians create new, unique, authentic tourism experiences. Okay. So that is this aim. And the deadline for this, my friends, is nearing. Yes, it's nearing. That's the 1st of May. So at the end of the day, this is what I want to break down, because a lot of you have been asking. A number of you have gone onto the sites and you got a little intimidated when you saw the requirements. And it is my duty, based on your ask, to just break it down for you to say what it means and how, and if you want and you're trusted, what you need to do. So let's break it down here this evening. Again, 345-936-8255. Feel free to weigh in on the discussion, or you can send me a WhatsApp or comment on whatever platform you are actually streaming us live on this evening. Yes. Now, what we're seeing here with this grant experience is that this is, as I said, it's looking for unique, creative, market-ready tourism experiences. Okay? So there are a number of things they're looking for. First of all, distinctive business concept. Okay. What I mean by that is that something Cayman doesn't have already, something that makes a visitor's stay or memorable, unforgettable, something that allows them to say, wow, I've never done that before. Now, let's say it is Caymanian cooking classes with local ingredients or something, or a heritage walking through, let's say, our capital, or even a mangrove meditation or eco-wellness retreat or something like that, or even a luxury private boat experience with Caymanian storytelling. I'm just pulling these off the top of my head, kind of, as I prepared for today, right? And what it must also be is inclusive and accessible. These are some of the requirements. And what that means is that experiences that welcomes everyone. It's tailored for seniors, families, persons with disabilities, and even diverse backgrounds as well. They also have another requirement that they're looking for in the applicants is environmentally responsible, meaning it's eco-friendly practices, low waste being produced, and even respect for our natural environment. Another thing that they're looking for is that whatever product or idea you come up with, it promotes what's at the front. It promotes Caymanian culture. Now, we all know how huge this one is. This one is big. And they want Caymanian identity to be front and center. So dig deep and think about music, food, crafts, seafaring traditions, or something like that. And of course, Caymanian history. Another element that they're looking for is that it supports the local economic growth, meaning that you hire Caymanians, use local suppliers, and build something that is sustainable, that will last for a while, okay? So if your idea checks even 2 or 3 of these boxes, you don't have to hit all of them, then I would dare say that you're on the right track. Now, please note, this is not a program where you say, give me up to $50,000 and I can start something. Oh no, my friends. The government is not financing your ideas on paper. No. That's not what they're doing. So let's break it down when it comes to eligibility about this grant so that we can keep here going. It is simple, but very, very important, because we say that too often our Caymanians are being left out in the cold and everybody's stepping ahead of us. So the eligibility is, in order for you to apply, is that you must be 100% Caymanian owned. The business must be 100% Caymanian owned. It must be 100% Caymanian staffed. Here was it. 100% Caymanian owned, 100% Caymanian staffed, fully compliant with Cayman laws, and it also must be holding a valid trade and business license, able to provide proof of Caymanian status to prove that you're Caymanian, and that you can only submit one application per owner. So one owner can't submit 2 or 3, okay? So bottom line, and the key takeaway here, is that the grant is for Caymanians, period, okay? Now, before you even open the application, because I've navigated the system, the application form, please, I beg you, make sure that you have these documents ready, because they're asking that you have your trade and business license, meaning approved. You need to have evidence that you are Caymanian and government issued photo ID. Don't get that mixed up now. I didn't say a government ID. A government issued photo ID. In this case, it could be a voter's registration card. It could be a driver's license. It could be a passport, or of course, your government ID. So if you don't have these, to start gathering them now, okay? And don't wait until the last minute where you're digging and you're going to do this. Now, please note that the application started, the opening started from the 23rd of March and it closes the 1st of May. So you don't have much time. Let me say it again. May 1st is the deadline to apply for this. And I feel, Cayman, if we're serious, late applications will not be reviewed, plain and simple. Late applications will not be reviewed. So mark your calendars. I am just letting you know what the requirements are. Mark your calendars, set reminders, tell your business partner, or if you can pull all of this together. Yeah, if you already have a trade and business license and you have something that you feel is unique and probably need some seating and all that sort of stuff, and you can come up with a new idea, then you're 3/4 of the way there. Maybe you want to tell your family member, tell them by a WhatsApp group. I don't know what you're going to do it. I just want you to understand what it is, okay? Now, how you choose, or how they're choosing for this payout, this grant, they're not saying everybody applies going to get 50,000. It's up to 50,000 per grant, okay? First of all, you got to submit it. It's the submission stage, and you have to fill out the online form with all the attached documents. They must be submitted. And then what it's going to go through is an evaluation phase, a stage. And then there is a panel on the inside. The panel reviews and scores your application. And this panel includes representatives from the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development. You also got representation from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. Well, you could see why those government agencies make sense. Then you'll also have persons from the DOT, Department of Tourism. And you'll have a representative as well from the Center for Business Development. That's the part that deals with your trade and business, compliance, and all that good stuff. And what they will do for the processing is that they score based on the guidelines we spoke about earlier, right? And then the final stage of the process, from what I understood from this, is that the highest scoring applicants will then receive funding depending on the budget and available funds as the ministry has put into the public's domain. Remember, this is a specific line item in the ministry's transfer payment. It's an executive output payment. And it all depends on how much that is funded. That will determine exactly how much is given based on your evaluated, I guess, scoring process by this committee, this board. So my advice to you would be, the stronger your idea is, the clearer your plan is, the better your chances of getting a yes. Yeah. So talking about the prize, up to $50,000 is grant funding, up to. And that depends on the project and the amount that I said of the line item that the ministry is funded. But let me again repeat, it is not just money that is giving out to you, right? You also get support during this time after the grant is given, guidance and oversight to help your business succeed. So it's not like one thing where you only last for a year. They're going to be tapping in on you to make sure that it's sustainable. Remember, I said that at the beginning. So this isn't here's a check, good luck. This, my friends, is where investing in you, and we want you to win, exists. They don't expect you to actually just get it. This is all of our money that they're investing into these businesses. And we want to see that it can be there for the long haul if we're actually going to be making an impact here. Donnie, it's good to have you in the house. Sorry. We have a comment here. Miss Brenda is saying they've been doing that from the time social media came into effect. Oh, okay. That's what people aren't getting. You were talking in regards to the commenting. Okay. Oh, gee, sound like too many hoops and hurdles to jump through, Aliano is saying, based on the requirement for this application. Jim is weighing in and commenting, that Caymanian face could now be an Indian national, Jamaican, Filipino, British, American, Canadian, Haitian national, or from any other country who has now been granted status. With Cayman, which Cayman is now filled with many status holders from all over, not simply and beautifully generationally Caymanian. And Jim further says, what can I say? I'm a little partial to the Caymanians. And in that case, Jimbo, I think you're a little partial to the generational Caymanians is what you're saying. But here we go again. Once you have been granted that Caymanian status under whatever labeling you have it through the immigration thing, you label it as the Caymanian Protection, whatever, you're still not deemed a generational Caymanian as to what you're alluding to, but you're eligible for that. So, yeah, some people may be a little upset at that, Jimbo, and they may have that deep down in them, but how do you say unless you have to be generational Caymanian? They just said Caymanian. Good point to point out, though. But this is where the segregation, the divide comes in, because the requirement does not distinguish generational or not. It just says Caymanian. And this is where it's a nerve, it's a sore spot in our society that many actually will agree is creating some sort of a divide. Now, based on this, we saw yesterday where we got some questions coming in, and Aliano says, yep, Jim, the whole part of being Caymanian has become watered out, is what Aliano is saying. Yeah, so here we go. One question came in yesterday in regard to, as a matter of fact, about three. If the goal, this is from Alfred, if the goal is authentic Caymanian tourism, how do we stop culture from becoming something Caymanians perform for visitors while being priced out of their own country? Now, I somewhat answered that yesterday, or I didn't, because I just didn't want to take away from it. But when I thought of that and gathered everything here, I feel that That's a very good question. And it reflects exactly the concern that is shared across many tourism dependent small island jurisdictions. And we have been talking to a lot of them. It's the same across all of their economies. But the issue, my friend, is that it isn't unique to us here in Cayman. It is a global tension between tourism development and culture preservation, which is why some people are saying we need our own generational there and not somebody actually telling you what they think they know about the town hall, the library. You really think if they took me and Alfred, for example, in certain parts of this country and allow us to do it versus someone who came here for 15, 16 years that really did not assimilate well with the community, didn't invest in, they just checked the box in order to get a yes on an application because our law said so. We could share a total different experience from them because that's ingrained in us. Very few who have honestly invested themselves, chose to be here with us, immerse themselves into our tradition, our cultures, have a lot of true Caymanian friends of all sectors in our society, would be able to really regurgitate and say, I know what I'm talking about going through certain parts of Bodden Town, certain parts of Northside. Yeah, I can remember Mary Street. This was there. And oh yeah, Red Spot. What do you know about Red Spot? We're talking about Dora Bay, Sarah's Bay, Smith back there, as we heard Miss Brenda. You know exactly who is authentic, genuine Caymanian when we use certain things. Like not far from where the work is going on right now by King Sports Center in that big corner right there. The other day, I just was having a conversation with a friend. I said, that house that used to be across in Roscoe Corner. Of course, they're like, oh my God, you're timelining yourself. Now, of course, not everybody understood and picked up exactly where I was talking about because you don't refer to it as Roscoe Corner anymore. For the record, that's the big corner there across from Rosedale Gardens, across from Miss Heather Bodden and them house, that real estate house. Right there, just before you get to Tropical Gardens. For those of you who didn't know, that's what it used to call. There's some gray apartments right there now, and it used to be like a cow well or something right there a long time ago. Or on the corner, remember where Batter Shoe Store was, English shop, and all that stuff. Not too much people would be able to tell you that, unless they were truly Shirley Shop Jr. really going down Miss Kippy. Racket Club, remember those days? Not too many. And I'm just going based on memory, based on my age now. But what I'm saying is you are quite right. And it was a very good question. But when you look at the requirements for this application, this very same grant was indeed designed to strengthen Caymanians' ownership and not replace it. But I see the concern. And there's no one can sell or replace like us. And this is why I'm thinking that they insisted that Caymanian own, but exactly what you're saying here, we could have them all selling it. And that is where the danger comes in. So I feel that the grant itself is one of the tools government is using to protect Caymanian participation by just saying that, not to dilute it. Because if that was indeed the case, then you could have had residency applying for it, those who have PR and that sort of stuff. So I get the feedback that you're saying it should have been generational, maybe, I don't know. It's too late right now, to be honest. And the mere fact that they said Caymanian is that the key was to ensure that Caymanians are the ones who are leading and benefiting, which is exactly what the grant framework requires, but taking it up another notch is bringing it to a different level right now because we are looking at it saying it's not being specific. So I don't know. But the bottom line here is that I feel the Caymanian culture becomes protected, not performed, when we have our generational side and those who have been in the hospitality and tourism industry, because we have some of brothers and sisters, I'm going to call it, from Jamaica from day one that are in the tourism industry. And they know a lot about our history, our culture, because they have really immersed themselves in the communities. They have been around a lot of domino tables and stuff, and they can sell it. But that they're those who actually wanted, they were hungry for it, and they made themselves available to appreciate who we are as a people. So I don't know, but yeah, I want to make sure I'm getting here. Jim says 100%. Jim says too much outside influence is not good. Dean Gillette says the most successful businesses in the world can't generate sustainability. Why not finance loans for these businesses? Well, I think they started off with a grant, so it's nothing to be paid back. But what they do is that they actually make sure they equip you, give you resources to professionals and courses to make sure that, you know, you are viable, that it's sustainable. So that is another option as well. I'm quite sure that's something they have done in the past, but right now it's a one-time grant. So there is no payback, but they're going to keep tabs on you to make sure that it's sustained. Wake Up Cayman says, thank you for explaining this so far. However, the advert on a radio station was a bit misleading. They made it sound like you could receive support from producing one product. No, maybe one product alone. Like I said, 2, 3, the more you have it, the stronger your chance. Wake Up Cayman. So if you got one solid product, trust me, and it's different and it's checking a lot of those other boxes, who to tell? You might actually be one of the recipients. But yeah, I totally get you. The message, wake up, was off. I agree with you when you actually look deeper into it. The messaging, the PR messaging was a bit off, to be honest. I have to agree with you there, which is why you kept asking me to break it down. And the more and more I dug into it, I'm like, but this is not what we're hearing. Is there 2 different programs, or is this the same? But it keeps pointing me back to the same one. So I think the PR kind of was not on the mark with how it was marketed. And maybe for that reason, they may not get as much interested persons, because right now it's a turnoff, because one thing is being vocalized, and when the requirements are looked at, there's just something totally different. Aliana says, Miss Sabrina, stop making yourself look old. Oh, I'm proud to say I got be 52 in June. Oh, yeah. Black don't crack. Jim says, as I've said before, Grand Cayman is beginning to look like many other places and has lost its charm. Yeah, boy, Jim. I gotta agree with you there, my friend. I honestly gotta agree with you there. It is taking on a different dynamics altogether. Aliano says, I'm 42 now and Cayman is rapidly changing. You're saying the exact thing Jim is saying. But what do? We can't give in on this. We can't give in at all. Oh no, we can't. Wake Up says, I have an idea for one product. Well, good. That could be a winning single product that is so good, Wake Up, that you may actually get the full funding. Good evening, caller. There's a lot of wind in the back, or whatever the heck that is. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Is it still a lot of wind? Still a lot of wind?
I don't know what it was. There was just a lot of background noise.
Oh, no, there. That was a truck.
Oh.
And its exhaust.
Oh my gosh.
Passing next to me. Yeah. Making all that noise and then.
All right, my love.
Sabrina, what is it? Forgive me for the tuning kind of late. I was going to tell you what you actually heard in the background of the steam that I'm about to blow off on your show.
Okay, go ahead. Are we talking about our tourism product, the Visitor Experience Development Grant Program?
Try hush, slow down.
Oh, Jesus.
More money again to wear, but anyway.
Stop it.
Let's digress. No, I'm sorry, Sabrina. The solution to fixing problems can't always be to throw money at something.
But they're giving
It's
people an
we're throwing
opportunity.
money.
This PR
We're
is
throwing, and I appreciate that, But again, like I said, throwing money at everything can't simply be the solution. It's like the Teflon Don, whatever sticks, we go with it. It's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. But that's not what I called about. So please allow me a couple of minutes.
You go ahead.
So I have become the de facto work complaints board, if you will. And anytime anybody got problems,
oh my
Shan,
God. That way you
I need you would never know what happened to me.
Well,
So I just came from visiting, I'm going to call the person a friend, who is blooming mad,
what happened?
has operated a family business for the past 33 years. Okay, I'm not going to say what business it is because I don't want any backlash for that person, right? But only to bring and to highlight the mess going on in this place. That the exact piece of legislation, that immigration bill that we advocated for and lobbied for weeks to slow down on, that I said Caymanian businesses were going to end up on the suffer. No, Caymanian businesses with real needs were going to end up on the suffering end because of the foolishness being rammed down our throats without proper consultation or proper implementation. We already seen that they rolled out a date and they had to pull that back. Got that wrong again. Right? So, this individual is running a small business, has a need for 2 employees. Her previous employees were rolled over. She managed to secure 1 individual on a temporary basis and was recruiting for another. The business has always operated with 2 employees. I want to make that clear. Because there is a need, not a want. Ain't nobody hiring extra help for shits and giggles.
Okay. So
They
it's
ain't
an
doing
overhead.
that.
It's an overhead.
Okay?
Yeah.
But apparently work don't understand that. However, put in for the additional work permit, it was declined because the person that she was seeking to hire, who merely had a certificate, was deemed to be overqualified for the role. Again, I will not identify
The type business.
the area, the type of business, because, right? But I will tell you, it's not an accounting firm and it's not a law firm. It's an ordinary service industry. Okay, it's not rocket science. But again, has put the ad out, has received 0 Caymanian interest and or applicants. She has no choice but to turn to recruiting outside of a Caymanian, right? That ain't her fault. That ain't her fault, and I ain't faulting her for that, right? So unfortunately, like I said, she recruited someone and they deemed that person to be overqualified. She kind of, what I like to call, went through the back door, kind of made a complaint. That decision was overturned, kind of saying it was a mistake. She let it slide. Okay, fair enough. You screw up one time. Okay, no problem. Unfortunately, that individual, once the permit had been granted, made a decision that he, due to like a change in his family dynamic, he was no longer able to take up that role in Cayman. She submitted another application for another applicant, again, who happened to be a work permit holder. That application was returned, and she was told, mind you, this person, again, like I said, has been operating a family business in the country for 33 years, has always had 2 employees. She currently has 1 employee. That employee is on a temporary and is making a decision that they don't want to continue their employment beyond I think it was the 6-month period. So she is recruiting. She's, like I said, she was accustomed to having 2. So she put in for that second person. Again, at present, as we speak, she only has 1 employee, is recruiting for another because there's a business need. And her application was denied on the basis of no business need.
What?
Okay? You heard what I just said. You heard what I just said.
Well,
So
okay, go ahead.
she calls the complaints bureau to make a complaint to me to say, help me understand, is this within the scope of the law or is this? And I quote verbatim, Shiv, I'm starting to take this personal.
Oh, wow.
Help me understand why this is not now personal. I have one permit. I'm operating a business that requires 2 persons. I've been struggling with one employee, and the service business is such that she cannot fill that role herself. Aside from that, she shouldn't have to justify that need, right?
It looks as though
think
they're
she has
stagnating, not allowing your business to grow and function because they have one concept of what they think your business
that is
is.
precisely it. But that is precisely it, right? And I think Denny and I banged on ad nauseum that this is what would happen if this wasn't done right. Cut once, measure twice. You remember me saying that?
Exactly.
Right? And now we have Caymanian businesses, and I'm going to say it here today, Caymanian, not them Caymanians, Caymanian businesses who are suffering because someone in there has made a determination based on God knows what, that there isn't a true business need. We shouldn't have to be going through the proverbial back door to get ahead, Sabrina. We shouldn't have to be. There are people out there who are holding. I personally spoke to an individual who is that Caymanian, who has 14 business licenses, some 6 to 7 employees, but has never received a denied work permit.
What?
Okay? You heard what I said, has never been denied for a work permit. Okay? How is one person able to operate 14 businesses? Truly tell me no. Truly tell me no. How is that possible? However, when you go through the back door and you hear on the proverbial mall road that what's actually happening is that they're targeting specific people and their businesses because of political differences, that they are truly messing up because it's being just a ramshackle, done in a ramshackle kind of way that they don't even have the capacity to understand what is being requested. And additionally, there's additional pressure to deliver on political promises so far as we are going to reduce the number of work permits in this country. And I forget, and that the people processing these work permits simply don't have any understanding of the need, so to speak.
What if they do? What if they do, but the mandate is contrary to what is being said otherwise in the public's domain by those in power? There's one message being sent in the public's domain, and then there's another mandate being given to the councils, the boards, the administrators that is totally not connecting, which is what was being explained with the PR for this grant, this government grant versus the requirements. It's two different things. I'm just asking the question.
With you, Sabrina. I agree with you, but again, I want to hammer home again that as a result of these inefficiencies, deficiencies, Caymanian businesses with legitimate needs are suffering. Okay? This individual is not like Siobhan, who wants to, and please let me state, this is not about me embarrassing the department. This is about
the bigger picture.
This is bigger picture, and the good of many must outweigh the good of one. And while you have people in there trying to cover their behinds, Caymanian businesses are hurting. Okay. Oh, I forgot to include this one. This one will knock your socks off. She was told by somebody, again, through the back door, in that department that the permits were being turned down because based on the salary that you put on it, they are determining that in some instances the salary you are offering is too high. Now, how do you get to determine what I pay my employee? And they're not listing legitimate reasons. They're giving these standard, no business need, overqualified, based on nothing. The criteria that they're basing it on. You're like, what? It leaves you scratching your head, Sabrina. It really leaves you scratching your head. And I'm going to say this here today, and I don't care who it hurts, whose feelings or whose toes I step on. The permits that they should be turning down are the ones that are going through. The permits that are having effects on the lives of Caymanians and being put out of work are the permits that are going through, that are not being looked over twice. Those are the permits that are having a real impact and a real impact on the real lives of Caymanians. Hindering Caymanians from getting gainful employment, hindering Caymanians from moving up in the job market. But those permits aren't getting a second look because of who is submitting the permit. Yet again, a small Caymanian business, she has a right to feel targeted. She has an absolute right to feel targeted. 33 years in this country, one work permit, and you are going to say no business need. I'm sorry, it is unacceptable that if you don't have staff who are trained enough to be able to process it, that you do better. You do better. They rolled up this big, beautiful mandate. We're going to make it easier. They're going to make it easier to be able to fire civil servants or whatever the hell it said. But that's not the solution, Sabrina. That's really not the solution. And I don't think that is what the public complained about, or certainly not what I would advocate for. But at the end of the day, everybody goes into business with a view for profit. That is the definition of doing business.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can merge this. Oops. Hello? Oh, no. I think I disconnected that other call. Shalom? Oh boy. Go ahead, my love. Go ahead. I was trying to merge the call. But it didn't come through.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and again, so her again working through the back door channels, spoke to someone. I won't even say where the person worked because it would embarrass the country. But a civil servant.
Hold on, let me try
working
to merge
in a very high position.
Hold on. Oh no. Okay. I'm not going to do this. Whoops. I'm not going to do this. Sorry.
Hello?
Yes. Oh gosh. I knocked off the other caller.
Hello?
Yes. I knocked off the other caller. Sorry. She wasn't finished.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
Not hearing. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
We're not hearing. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure what's going on. Let me wrap you up. Go ahead, my love.
Yeah, sorry about that. When she spoke to the individual, like I said, I would say a high-ranking civil servant who I think ought to be able to provide some information or shed a little bit of light. He looked at her like a year before Cole looked at a cat and said, I had no idea about all of the changes. Well, when you submit your complaint, let me know what the result is. It is a crying shame. It is a crying shame. I think especially in the civil service, where there are customer service facing roles, again, work being one of them, not one. Your goal should be to create a remedy to the solution. Okay? Your goal should be to provide a remedy to the problem, or to create an end-to-end service. Right? Again, a 33-year business in this country. Second time something of this sort, and it's been in the span of 1 month, has happened to this individual, only to be told because of possible political differences, because political agendas, because lack of training, because this is unacceptable, Sabrina. This is unacceptable. And again, who do you complain to?
Yeah.
Who do you complain to?
What?
I'm bold enough to get on here and say these things, right? But then you hear from other people, well, they don't want to work with Sabrina because you know who she supported. Well, they don't want to work with Siobhan because you know who she supported. And what I'm saying is, more gets done when you don't care who gets the credit. But there are too much people who really have either solutions to very necessary problems, or who have ideas that can truly turn things around. Again, I have to quote Steve Harvey when he said, sometimes it's not the message, it's the messenger. And I get that, Sabrina, and I get it. But we're running the country. This is not part of shop. You can't afford to get it wrong.
Well, I could be honest.
You can't afford to get it wrong.
Denver had a question, says, just asking a question, caller. Is the permit or permits for a certain nationality that we have no desire to have anymore in our country? There's no national statement for that, though, Denver.
Well, Denver, I will say this much. The government today, as I understand, speaking to you at 6:23 p.m. this evening, I am not aware of any mandate, any backroom story of a restriction on the number of specific nationalities to be in this country. They should start to call for that. They should start to call for that, lest we be inundated with any specific amount of nationality. We should never be. We should never be, and it should be equal and balanced. It should be equal and balanced so as to not create a overpopulation or oversaturation of any one nationality, so that it is so disproportionate that it's simply no longer fair. Right? So there is no mandate with regard to undesirables. They're undesirable foreign nationals from every nationality.
It's not the nationality. A lot of the times it's their behavior. And yes, we do admit that some countries, their culture and all that sort of stuff ingrained in them, but you have good and bad everywhere you come from. The elephant in the room for what you've described that's happening with this company is that it appears as though, as you've alluded to, if they say don't work,
is being targeted
exactly because of political. So what does that say about neutrality? What does that say about being objective? What does that say about they got their foot in their own Caymanians? They got their foot in their own proverbial throat.
Right. And again, this and like I said, you start to, it's a conspiracy until it's not, Sabrina. It's a conspiracy until it's not. When the first time that happened, and we were like, that looked kind of personal. But because I read between the lines really quickly, I start to look at the circles that people run in. I can kind of start to tell you're going to have a bit of problems with that. You're going to have a little bit of difficulty with that, right?
But it shouldn't be when you have legislation that is there.
She's willing to give more of a benefit of the doubt than I ever will, because I understand how the political landscape and the political arena of how you get things done here. But the reality is, I want to speak to all 19 of those MPs today. There are no foreign nationals voting in this election. There are no foreign nationals voting in an election. They're all Caymanian. There are no foreign nationals who vote in the elections. So you are killing and stifling Caymanians and Caymanian businesses.
But what do they care if this comes out to be true?
They don't. Clearly they don't.
If it comes out to be true.
Sabrina, you shouldn't. I am not asking anybody to go above and beyond for me or anybody. I'm asking you to do your job.
And do it fair and within the confines of the law.
Do your job.
And
do your job.
Within the law.
But what I'm saying is, what fool I can only describe as a fool. What fool can look at a legitimate Cayman? I don't care. Cayman Islands are Caymanian businesses.
Yeah, but you rightfully said it earlier. If you're not hanging with the right crowd, or if you're, let's say, on the opposite aisle of support, then what are we doing to ourselves?
But the reality is, if you don't vote for Sabrina, you shouldn't eat. You shouldn't eat. That's unacceptable, Sabrina.
I'm gonna
That's
put you
simply
on hold for
unacceptable.
One second. I'm trying to. Good evening. You're live. I've merged the call with Michelle.
Good evening. Appreciate, sister. Appreciate while I listen. You 2,000% right. Hello?
Michelle, I want some of your choice words, because this is unacceptable. This is the height of
Sabrina.
This is the height of discrimination.
Put out, it got still be loopholes that they can see through. Do what they want to do, because like I told you yesterday, por el dinero, el mono baila. That means for the monkey, for the money, the monkey dance. You hear what she said about that person with all those businesses and then permits, and then we have a protected. And I know one poor little person that not got much nothing, and they put in for, I think, for their Western Union, and they done been rejected about 3 times and still fighting. They appeal it and nothing. I told you anything can be done. Por el dinero, el mono baila. It's not who you know, it's who you.
Well, you kisses go by favors. Kisses go by favors, and I get that. But again, I want to go back to exactly what I told Sabrina. Then I told Sabrina, this would be the result of this bill being rushed down the people's throat, pushed down the people's throat without absolute proper consultation. This is the result. This is the result. And I can't help but think, God forbid, if I had to operate a business that needed a work permit, I would never get one. I am so grateful that that's not my case.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my case. But to think, as far as I know, speech and freedom is free. It's free as long as it's not slander, as long as you are not the D word, I forget it.
Mm-hmm.
You are, and as long as it's not libelous. You may not like what I say, but feelings, guess what? Feelings are not fact. There are some people who wake up and feel like a tree. It don't mean that they're a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You are allowed to wake up and feel however the hell you please, but it don't make it true. Mm-hmm. People are allowed to express their displeasure based on their experience with whatever government entity, with whatever government entity, okay? With whatever government entity, and they shouldn't have to worry about whether their complaint is going to land them being penalized in the way this woman, and I'm going to say it, that it absolutely looks very personal.
Yep.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And I said this would happen. I said it would happen. And everybody laughed me to scorn. One minister got up and said, oh, they're doing their scare tactics and they're scaremongering. That's not going to happen. These people aren't going to do these. Businesses aren't going to pick up and leave the country just because something changed. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I tell you.
It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen until it happened. Until it happened. Okay? Until it happened. And again, this is affecting the life of everyday, regular Caymanians who are living month to month, running and operating small businesses in this country and can't do it effectively, can't provide services, therefore can't provide for themselves. What will the result of that be? To go line up down by DFA? To go line up down by DFA only to be told that they're not qualified? This is unacceptable when you have Caymanians who are legitimately trying to eke out a reasonable, legitimate, legal business for themselves to have these types of roadblocks. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
when
So,
you are
tell her,
living in a society or an environment that is almost making it look like
everything.
collateral damage to a minor few is okay. We can risk that one. They only have two. So what? We have the X amount of money. That's what this is taking on. This is the approach that is looking that there are going to be some casualties. And if we are creating that type of environment in our country, that only those who are aligning politically or who is paying the piper, then my friends, we are heading down a wrong road.
no, but it all sorts of questions start to creep in. Whether is there money being now paid under the table? No, we're not too far-fetched with that. We know about fraud in the government. We know about fraud that occurred in the government. We know about it. We know about individuals who were prosecuted in the civil service for fraud. It is not too far-fetched to believe that those things are happening again. The last auditor general report, I want to remind them of the deficiencies there. He stopped just a breath short of saying these deficiencies could possibly point to fraud.
Yes.
Am I wrong, Sabrina?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of Caymanians being on the losing end, getting the shit end of the stick every single time because they have a brain to question what is happening to them and say, hold a minute, what's going on here? If you don't toe the line, if you know with the government of the day, and by God, if you ain't even paying to their shit, you don't get nowhere. This shit has to stop. I'm sorry for my language, but this is how upset I am. This shit got stopped.
But it's sad because you are reflecting a lot of the genuine raw feelings that a lot of Caymanians are feeling. And it's unfortunate that a lot of them are fearful of speaking out for exactly what that person has reached out to you and saying. There's only a few will put themselves in the front line and be vocal. It is real. If you're not associated with a certain sector of people, if you're not aligning yourself accordingly, then unfortunately, yes, what the comments are coming in is actually it's taking on the characteristics that it's played from within. You don't get through unless you're liked. It doesn't care who represents you. It doesn't care whether or not you represent yourself. Some are asking for information that is just exposing all of your clients based on the service that you're in. When you check it, they have a friend or foe that has your contracts. They see what your rates are, and you're losing clients because of inside trading. This is a real thing. And the sad part is, it is our Caymanians doing it to other Caymanians. And we're talking about, we changed the name on an immigration law to say Caymanian Protection. But what you're talking about, the processes, that label means nothing if you're acting contrary to what that says.
Well, quite frankly, that should be changed to Caymanian Exploitation Act. It should be changed to Caymanian Exploitation Act because the only persons being exploited are Caymanians. There ain't no protection there for us. There ain't none. It is an illusion and smoke and mirrors. It is an illusion. I said this. I wanted to give this government the benefit of the doubt that Caymanian businesses would not suffer. I did, Sabrina, and if you recall, I've been very quiet. While this thing made its way down the pipeline, trying to get to the rollout process, I've been very quiet.
Siobhan, a lot of people are calling me. A lot of people are calling. A lot of people are stopping me. A lot of businesses are hurting, and they are even scared to speak, which is why I'm wondering if there's a certain percentage based on the service that you're offering, the type of business that you're in, that they have factored in that they're going to be collateral damage and that there's going to be a small sector of business that are gonna close down because of the process. But guess what? That is by design, which is contrary to what you're calling the piece of legislation. You compete with me, I shut you down. I invite you into the fold, but I make your life a living hell. I don't give you work permits, knowing that Caymanians aren't applying. You can demonstrate that you've advertised through the wazoo. Your contracts could be impacted because you just don't have the manpower or the skill set available to do the job. Then, yeah, what more do you want? I'm not asking you no favor. I've done everything by the book, but yet I am still being marginalized because I'm not hanging with the right crew, because you think that I'm with this group or that group, when all I'm trying to do is keep a roof over my head and make an honest living?
No, truly, because this person has remained politically neutral. Truly, because this person has remained. And when I say politically, not just politically neutral, forget about the politics part, but has truly been diligent in making sure that when her employees were rolled over, whatever was necessary to be submitted, it was submitted. When she had the permit granted, that the individual said, look, there's a change in my circumstance, within 24 hours of that notification, she notified work and said, listen, there's a change in the circumstance of this individual. I'm going to now need to cancel it. I was advised, provided evidence from the individual. Okay? This isn't a cowboys and Indian kind of business that this person is running. Okay? Mm-hmm. For a small business, I'm telling you, good tight belts and braces. Good tight belts and braces. And now, this is the crap that she is facing. This is the crap.
It's sad because you know what the reality is? There's a lot more of business like that are going through the same thing, and they're crying.
I'm telling you,
they're feeling it.
I'm telling you, I could set up a hotline to take complaints. I could set up a hotline. Some of the complaints I'm able to remediate myself and say, look, let's do it this way so that we don't actually have to make a complaint, because then you're just going to be targeted. You're just going to be targeted.
But are we then creating the space for backdoor deals?
That is the narrative.
But are we?
We don't have a choice, Sabrina. But we don't have a choice.
Oh wow.
We don't have a choice.
Pay to play.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. Okay, you have someone. You have a mother. Let's just call her a single mother who has the need for a domestic helper because she has a child at home. She has to work. Her nanny, her former domestic helper, has been rolled over. She's been diligent. You can see that person got on a one employee. That employee is about to be rolled over. She's saying, look, legitimately, here's my little letter that you asked for. Sabrina is being rolled over from this role. I want to hire Siobhan into this role for a domestic helper. During the transition period, it's just going to be a handover. It's technically not going to be two employees. Obviously, one is coming to the end of their term limit. How stupid can you be to not realize the transition that's taking place? But you're not going to give that individual that domestic helper work permit, therefore creating a hindrance for that mother to be able to go out to take care of that child. And God forbid she loses her job and has to go down to DFA. She's being told you can't get it because you actually have $2,000 in your bank account. Miss me with all of this bullshit. Miss me with it, yeah? I'm sick of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm sick of it. Caymanians cannot continue to bear the brunt for the foolishness that's being done at legislative levels. We can no longer continue to bear the burden. We can't. We're struggling. We're drowning underneath all of the legislative framework that you are creating that's supposed to make our lives somewhat easier. You're making our lives difficult. You're making our mere existence difficult. Difficult is an understatement. Mm-hmm. Is an understatement. In your quest to be the pharaoh of politics, you are killing Caymanians and their businesses. This is unacceptable, Sabrina.
Can I ask the question?
Who the hell do you complain to?
What if they don't care?
Avenues like this, who the hell do you complain to?
I'm just asking a general question.
That don't come to their office?
I'm just asking a general question. What if there really isn't a sincere, genuine need to care? Because like I said, in every transition, in every modernization,
that's a rhetorical question, Sabrina.
There is collateral damage. Look at the nature of the business.
That's a rhetorical question.
Okay.
That's a rhetorical question. If you're not eating 10 yards of their shit, you don't get nowhere.
Exactly.
You don't get nowhere.
Exactly.
You don't get no play. Your business don't deserve workers. You can't find a Caymanian to go do that to do that job. Just try. She's trying. I even said to her, look, I'm willing to learn just to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to learn just to help you out.
You know, I can speak from
Because I think,
experience prior to running
because
for
I think this is
political
what we're
office.
supposed to do.
I could not grow my
I think
business
this is
because
what we're supposed to do, Sabrina.
I could not grow my business elevating for 15 years because there were members sitting on the board that thought that I didn't need someone with paralegal experience in my business. And when you check it out, the members on the board were competing with me, one, and two, I was tapping into them trying to get some clientele, corporate clients of mine. That's what we're facing.
But there's there's nobody out there. But there's nobody out there questioning why we have 4,976 mobile car washes. There's nobody out there on a flipping job site making sure that a man with a car wash permit not hanging sheetrock. There's nobody out there making sure that a man that got a barber permit not out there laying blocks. There's nobody out there making sure that somebody who's hired to Sabrina as a domestic helper not moonlighting at a bar for Sharon Hyde. But we got time. We got time
to hold me back.
All
and
the
people
time
like
in the
you.
world.
Yeah.
To hold legitimate Caymanian businesses who are merely trying to provide for themselves and families. And I'm not talking about a business that pops up overnight.
Correct.
33 flipping years.
Yep.
33 years. Somebody who has done nothing but demonstrate themselves to be an exemplary business and providing an essential service in this country.
Mm-hmm.
This is the shit that they face. Mm-hmm. This is the bureaucracy. This is not okay, Sabrina. It's not okay. And I am big mad. I am big mad.
And it's because we have remained quiet for too long and silence is consent. And for those who they're scared to speak because we're seeing these happen, but this needs unity.
My God, Sabrina.
This needs banding together. This needs team.
Can you imagine that she went from one permit being denied because the person had a certification to being told that she didn't have a business need, that she wouldn't be, to being told that she actually didn't have a real business need when she only had one person and the business has historically been run with two.
But that is what I'm trying to tell you. They are definitely pigeonholing and pretty much stifling a Caymanian business growth. How can you move? How can you grow? How can you offer these type of grants? For example, that tourism is doing right now, if that's what's happening in the background. But bearing in mind, one of the requirements says must be 100% Caymanian employees. Mm-hmm. You're not going to necessarily find that in every business model, even though this is for a tourism thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the image that we're going to be looking for moving forward for all businesses?
Sabrina, I'm tired. I'm tired of this being the cry and the plight of my people. I'm tired, Sabrina. I'm tired of fielding complaints. I'm tired of being what I feel like the lone wolf out here. I'm tired. I want to be able to call in and say, and again, let me say this. I am not going to suggest that there aren't good civil servants out there. I'm not going to say that. Mm-hmm. Who are out there working overtime to compensate for the ones that are doing the bare minimum, almost negative. I'm not talking about them. I'm really not talking about them, Sabrina. Mm-hmm. But in reality, we got a problem. We got big problems, Sabrina.
It's going to take
with no solution in sight. Solution in sight. And the sad part about it is, Sabrina, it changes with every administration. It changes with every administration. People get sidelined and maligned. And if you're not, like I said, if you ain't eating 10 yards of their shit, dog eat your supper. Dog eat your flipping supper. Mm-hmm. How can we continue as a nation to be great, to build, to steer the good ship Cayman, as they like to say? How can we continue to do that when the people who are charged with doing that for you are the ones trampling you?
Mm-hmm. Jim says,
How
caller says she's
this is
tired, but that doesn't necessarily mean physically either. I understand her tired. Yeah, you're emotionally drained. You're taxed. It's like they are running all the Caymanians, and because our percentage is so low in number, it's like the bureaucracy is beating you down for you to give up. And I have heard Caymanians who struggle to get work permits approved, demonstrate, can justify it beyond the wazoo, just far from just saying, okay, let me go to this friend to make them put it in. And all of a sudden, guess what? They get it and you can't get it. The test, the proof is in the pudding. Then you have no other choice but to believe it is personal.
Yeah, but what they're supposed to be clamping down on, paying attention to, and trying to pull back on, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They are not interested in doing that. You understand? Again, Caymanians are on the losing end of what is supposed to make our lives better, easier. We are constantly, again, on the losing end of this thing again.
Well, do you see some of the fees that we've been through exhaustively that is going to impact every Caymanian-owned business with the heightened fees and families and individuals? We asked for immigration reform, though.
If they know what I had known, they would stay put, If they know what I know, they would stay put. They would stay put. Because this thing is like cowboys and is like a cowboys and Indian thing. Let me tell you.
But
I don't want to make any great predictions or call down no bad juju. But let me tell you something. Cayman can't continue on the trajectory that it's on. There are Caymanians who are sitting at the table who are not only at one time our complaint was that we were only getting the crumbs. We were only able to get the crumbs from the table. Okay? What's happening now is you have Caymanians sitting at the table who also want the crumbs for themselves. They don't even want you to get the crumbs, Sabrina. Okay? That's how disgusting, nasty they have become. They don't even want you to get the crumbs simply because you and them don't wear the same political shirt. You and them don't vote on the same side. Okay? And it's unacceptable. So because you don't like me, I should never eat in this country. I want to remind the public there's a Caymanian who had to leave this country, in order to survive, simply because he dared to question the narrative of what was taking place, not just to him. He rarely advocated for himself. It was always for other Caymanians. For other Caymanians. And you see where it got him? It's sad, Sabrina. It really, really sad.
So that is why the majority of the others then are refusing to speak, because they don't want to be a victim of that, to have to leave. So they just be quiet.
Yeah, but
Sabrina, that is not the solution either.
Whether you are in the loud majority or silent minority, the solution to getting change cannot be to sit back and buckle up, buttercup. That can't be the solution. You can't just go along to get along, Sabrina. We can't continue to do that. You see where getting along has gotten us. Remember how much debt this country is in? Remember how much money we not spent that we wasted? We got nothing to show for it. Okay? People pissing away money down the proverbial drain. Okay? Expenses that my children, grandchildren, and yours too are going to be saddled with debt. Again, spending money that we don't have, but their priorities are increasing the budget for their political offices that they don't friggin' sit in, and making sure that the people carrying out their dirty work, I'm going to say that today, their dirty work can get more money. It's unacceptable, Sabrina. It's really unacceptable. Really, really unacceptable. So tired of it.
I go to the point and say, like you rightfully said earlier on, you do not get the message because it's coming from a messenger that you don't like. But where do we go from here? What does it take? There are platforms like this, and I can remember in the earlier days, one big supporter of this platform said, Sabrina, this cannot be just a platform where we just talk, but we have to see meaningful solutions. But when those that you actually have to go and report to that should be reflecting the people and representing are appearing to be the problem, then Houston, we have a problem.
Sabrina, I heard another, I don't want to disrespect their program and call it a podcast, but I heard another talk show host saying, and I believe him because I know the individual he was talking about, and that's absolute ignorant and obtuse that she is, who said she would not involve one particular individual on a project in this country, despite that person being the leading expert on that subject matter, that she would not include that individual because he was associated with an individual that did not support her politically. You see what I'm telling you? If you ain't eating 10 yards of this shit, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. And it ain't even good shit, Sabrina. It ain't even good shit.
Oh, wow.
It's foolishness. It's foolishness. Okay? Absolute bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? This is the crap that we have happening in this country. This is the crap that we have happening in this country. And guess what? Every freaking month, they get their paycheck and then some. And then some.
But then in the next 3 years, at the end of the day, the next 3 years, we go through this again. They put up a beautiful show. They put on a beautiful show, make promises, and then bang, we forget. Buy you a couple of yards of this, couple of yards of that, wine and dine you a couple of days.
Say this.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this.
Come with the envelopes of money, 5,000 a pop.
People, well, I wish they would come to me. I'm going to take their money. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to take their money. People who don't take care of their own shouldn't be tasked with the responsibility of taking care of anybody else. I'm going to say that, and they can put that, I can leave that, and they can put that where they want.
But is that a reflection of everybody?
People who don't take care of their own, basically, because if you're not with them, you don't deserve to eat.
Gotcha.
You don't deserve to eat.
That's becoming very obvious.
People who don't take care of their own certainly should not be tasked with taking care of anybody else. They need to be put back out in the public sector, just like the rest of us, to have to earn a living, just like the flipping rest of us. A man shall eat by the sweat of his brow. It never said by the foolishness that come out of his mouth. It said by the sweat of his brow. I mean, you got to work. You got to work. Why must I have to go out there, bust my behind, do hopscotch, hipscotch, upside down, round the table, whatever? But you can just do the bare minimum and you collect a big check every month. Every month you collect a big check and then some.
I'm hearing from multiple sources, and obviously this is coming through, that some persons had to get elected in this last election because businesses were going to go in bankruptcy.
Oh, mercy
so
God.
they did exactly what they had to do, some and more, and some and more, and now they are...
You went down this road. Since you went down this road, I wish my good friend Johan would call in today, because I can tell you this. They're not gonna burn candles for me. They're gonna burn a whole torch tonight when I finish with them. There were some people that are some people that God forbid, I guess in order to be declared bankrupt, you gotta have an open bankruptcy filing. But you got some serving up and there. And I'm not just talking about regular MPs. I'm talking about ministers too, who not much better off than me. And I've never sat in the House of Parliament. In order to be an MP, you got to be solvent. But we don't take any consideration into those things, right? But I am going to quote my great-grandfather, whom I have never met, but through stories from my grandmother, who is now deceased as well, her father, who himself was a statesman. I'm not going to say an MP, it would be an insult to him, or a politician, right? Who said, when you elect people who have nothing to lose, they don't have nothing to protect.
Exactly.
Stop voting for broke people. Broke people got one thing, to not be broke. That's their goal, to not be broke. And they will do whatever they want to do, whatever they have to do to make sure that their position is better off than when they went in there. If it even means your detriment, your detriment. People who have nothing to lose have nothing to protect.
Exactly. Which is why they could be openly buying the votes and people fall for it, saying, oh, what a nice
Zero
person.
and zero.
Exactly.
Zero and zero will always be zero. Okay? Vote for people who got something to lose. Because if they got something to lose, they got something to protect.
Exactly.
They
But
have
now
something
you
to
can't
protect.
complain.
You got people in there who are serving that would be on their way out of a job if they were in the private sector. Yet we going out there and voting for them because it's the only job that they can ever have. It's the only job that they can get in.
Well, then you don't
I'm so
complain
sick of it.
if you took whatever gifts,
I'm
cash,
so
whatever,
sick of
and
it.
you don't see them, you don't hear from them.
I can tell you like what my mother told me.
That was an
I
exchange.
can tell you like what my mother told me when I would go away and I would see a toy in the store and she would say, "What? You don't want to buy that toy now because you want to buy something else later."
Exactly.
Okay? But I got to have that toy. I got to have it. And you know what she would say? When I went to the ice cream place and I wanted ice cream, eat that toy. You better eat that toy. You better eat that toy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Same principle applies. Same principle applies. We got to apply seriousness. We got to apply fiscal responsibility, not just responsibility, fiscal restraint.
Yes.
Fiscal restraint. And not because Sabrina want a road that goes straight to her house means that we got to give her that.
Behave
Because
yourself.
Sabrina got six
Behave
people.
yourself.
Sabrina
You're
got
talking
6
too much
people out in her
sense.
house.
You're talking too much sense today, my friend.
Okay? We must make roads that make sense. Not putting friggin' speed bumps in a goddamn mean highway because you won't say that you're doing something. You want to do something? Come down to your goddamn office that we spending $5,000 a month on every month. Do that. Do that. Do that. Serve effectively there. Start there. Start there. Take the one day that you're allotted to be down there. Start there. Start by returning calls. Actually, have the same energy for your constituents that you had when you wanted to be elected. Have that same friggin' energy. Have that same energy instead of talking about, I don't know why people wondering where I am. I'm always available. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. So sick of it.
Caller, I'm going to ask you to leave me there. You vented. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's deep. But
I can
thank
leave you there because they, like I say, they're going to burn a whole lighthouse for me tonight, but that's all right. I am going to keep them accountable until the next election, and I am going to slaughter every one of them, every single one of them who have not made good on the things that they have promised this country. Okay? And I intend to expose if I hear it, I gotta say it. I mean that.
Well,
because I am so sick and tired.
The mere fact that people are reaching out to you,
piss.
Siobhan, the mere fact that people are reaching out to you, you are a conduit. And this is why I keep appealing to people to air it here, because I can assure you, even though the platform will probably never get its true praises, changes have been made
Sabrina,
based on what has been said here. You know, changes are being made and they're listening.
Well, God forbid, as a single mother, can you imagine if I needed a permit for my helper, where I would be today? I would be in the shitter. You would have come watching for me.
And that is one of the most easiest permits that people used to actually be able to get. Now they are even questioning special caregivers that can justify you have an aging senior, people with disabilities. They are telling you Caymanians are available.
Sabrina,
really?
I would be able to hire an accountant quicker to manage my household than I would be able to request for domestic helper that I have a legitimate need for.
Right now.
That's how stupid, that's how ass backward things is up there. Okay? What my grandma would say, God bless her, ass-fumas. Ass-fumas. What a sight. What a sight and what a mess. We are going to hell in a handbasket with gasoline drawers. What a sight. I go and leave it there here. My pressure is so high. I tell you, if I ran into one of them, tonight, I probably would lick them right down there. So I got to stay home and hope I don't run into none of them. Because this mess got to stop. It got to stop, Sabrina. It got to stop.
Yeah.
It really got to stop. I know Johan said, well, we got big hopes and we really hope that the incoming DG is going to make a big difference? I hope so, because I can tell her what, I'm going to be her first customer. I got a list of complaints. I 5'4" and I got a list taller than me. Taller than me. But
anyhow,
I'm going to leave you there because...
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your feedback. There we go. We've come to the top of the hour of this episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, yes, yes. That was proudly sponsored by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting. That's coming this May. With 25 years of Cayman immigration expertise, ready to guide your every step of the way. Until tomorrow, I want to wish you a good evening. I know we didn't get through everything, but I can assure you tomorrow is going to be another thought-provoking episode, and your comments, questions are welcomed. And we got to continue this, guys, because I can assure you what we're feeling, what we're hearing, the sense of frustration, what we're seeing building in the community is not a farce. It is by design. People are feeling it. And yes, not all will understand when I use the line, have they factored in that they're going to be casualties? Have they factored in that there's a possibility that they're going to be some person that are just looked at as collateral damage, which is why when you speak, unless you're of a certain caliber or class or hang with the certain crowd, your voice means nothing. Your contribution, no matter how legitimate you are, how sound you are, how above the board you are, it means nothing. Is that the Cayman Islands that we're building? Is that what you expected from immigration reform? Is that what you expected when you cast your vote? Think about what I just said. Because the more and more we see it, the more and more we see what's happening in the geopolitical landscape, the more and more I'm hearing you all speak, cry in private, call persons like Siobhan to be your advocates because you're scared to advocate for yourself. Then who to blame? Not one of your elected leaders got there without a vote. If you were one who sold it, thank God we serve a mighty God. He can forgive you and you can correct it and make it right. But this is the message moving forward. The one who plays the piper choose the song. The one who pays the piper choose the song. If you can be bought, you can be sold. And if you sold your vote, don't be upset if they don't come around. Don't be upset if you were removed from a board, even though you were added. You sold your vote. It's an even exchange. It is what it is. But you can ask for forgiveness. You can wake up and smell the roses and stop thinking insular. Stop thinking about just yourself and look at the greater good. Because at the end of the day, if we don't come together as a society, this is just a tip of the iceberg. And mark my word here today. Have they factored in collateral damage? Are you in that percentage? Is the system designed that way? It has been my pleasure bringing you this episode of Sabrina Speaks. God bless. Good night. Love you lots. See you tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.